Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, folks. Thanks for joining us. And straight through the door is Maggie. Good morning. Hi. Nice to have you with us. We know there are a few other people, I think, waiting, and some people we know are struggling to make comments on it. So good morning to those folks as well. Do let us know if you've got snow where you are this morning.
Yeah.
We're snowy today, so you've got a slightly different view again. You can see a little bit of our snow perhaps, which is melting rapidly, luckily. But yeah, let us know how you're getting on.
Yeah, special request for you, Maggie, is that you've got more of our fireplace picture and we've got the window available as well. So just for you, Maggie. So I hope you appreciate that we've changed camera angle yet again. And yeah, hope you like it. Let us know if that view is working for you.
So we've got Pat joined us as well. Good morning, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Good to have you with us. Yeah, so nice to have you with us this morning. It is technically now spring. Yesterday was Imok or St. Bridget's Day.
Yeah.
Traditionally celebrated in Ireland, parts of Scotland, and Isle of Man, I believe. So yeah, so yesterday was St. Bridget's Day, and yes, we've got a snowy Bradley. And Maggie says thank you. So yeah, do let us know if you like the new setup. We're exploring slightly different setups at the moment because there's not much else to do. Is there really? We're housebound, aren't we? This is it. So we just get moving things around.
Yeah, we do. And again, we do, as you know, listen to feedback. And so we just thought, can we just change the camera angle just a little bit, and it will mean that we can open the blinds so that we've got the garden in the background, but we won't mess up the exposure. And it seems that we're doing okay. Hi, Chris. Good morning to you. Is there plenty of snow in Carlton? And Ronnie says, like the dark clothing and the window view. I think I'm with you, Ronnie. Excuse me. Is that it's nice to have the blinds back, but it does give us some difficulties with exposure, but it seems to be working. So thanks for that feedback. Ooh.
Ali says there's plenty of snow in Carlton. Good job. Hope you're not snowed in up there. Yes, it's melting rapidly here, but it's pretty enough while it's here, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyone going to get out and do some sledging? Maybe. I don't know. Let us know if you're going to go out and do some sledging. So we better say who we are and what we do, haven't we?
Okay, so if you haven't joined us before, if you wonder what's going on, my name's Helen.
My name's Phil.
And we're Discover Tai Chi. So we do evidence-based Tai Chi. So this is a Tai Chi session that we do every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. And we have a little bit of a chat and a catch-up first with all our folks. And then we get moving with some easy Tai Chi and qigong movements. And we like to do that by bringing you evidence-based movements. So we're always interested in doing it in a way that's evidence, not because our masters did it that way.
Yeah.
Tai Chi teachers used to be called masters. It's all very traditional.
Because you were indentured. Again, it's all very weird back in those days, but you were indentured to your master. That's why they were called masters, not necessarily because they were any good at anything. It was a master-servant relationship. So I've never been comfortable, even when some people go, oh, you're a master. I go, I'm not. We're here to guide and teach and help folks explore their Tai Chi and Qigong journey.
So we have a very much more of a 21st century approach to Tai Chi. Like you say, things can traditionally be done because that's the way they've always been done. So I've got a joke about that.
Okay.
So there's a soldier guarding a bench, and somebody comes along and says, hey, why are you guarding that bench? And he's like, oh, because this is what we do. I've been told to guard the bench. So, oh, okay, right, okay then. So the soldier goes back to his officer and says, yeah, why are we guarding this bench, can I ask? And we've always guarded this bench. That's what we do. That's our job. And so, oh, okay. So, and the officer thinks, yeah, I better go and find out, why are we guarding this bench? So he goes and asks his superior, and the superior kind of goes, oh, Yeah, it's a good question, actually. Yeah, maybe I'll ask my superior, but he's now retired, so I'll go and find out. So he goes to his superior and asks, yeah, why do we have to guard the bench? And the old gentleman, retired general, says, wow, is that paint still drying?
And that was the joke, guys.
That was the tumbleweed moment. I hope you've enjoyed that. But anyway, yes, traditions sometimes get passed down for no reason other than it was practical at the time. I'm now explaining the joke. I'm killing the joke even worse. I'm now explaining it. Anyway, so that's what we're trying not to do in Tai Chi. We're not trying to do things for tradition's sake. We're trying to make it live and relevant to today. So we hope you've got a cup of tea. Maggie says, do our neighbours appreciate the free Tai Chi?
It's a good question, and we're not sure, Maggie, because sometimes we do catch them looking a slightly bit befuddled, but hey, that just might be everyone's experience. I don't know. So yeah, from time to time, I think for me, it's nice to have the garden in the background. So I hope it's not too distracting. Again, just give us your feedback, whether you think this is a better view. We're a bit more on the diagonal. It does give us a bit more width to work with in our small little front room. So what are we going to do today? What things have we got?
So we are just letting you know our most up-to-date news. So as we say, it's spring. So we've been celebrating all things spring, but we've also updated our membership pages. So there's new content on there. So you can join us via Patreon. So thank you so much to all our Patreon members. You can join us via our website, which has different memberships. So we have Pavilion, Tea House, and Garden.
That's right.
So if you want to know more, do drop us a message and we'll talk you through more of that.
Yeah, and we've recently uploaded a new video and new infographic for our members, and we've got another video of our qigong class on Monday that will go up for members this week. It takes a bit of processing and editing, but I'll get to work on that this afternoon. So if you are a member, look out for that. Also, look out for Helen has discovered how to chat with our members on our website last night. So if you are a member of our website, be it Tea House or Pavilion, let us know if you noticed a little chat function, kind of like a messenger, just because Helen went, oh, look what I've found.
You can always there's always another button to press, isn't there? And they only find out how things work by keep pressing buttons. That's my method.
Helen is an excellent presser of buttons and finding things out that way. And yeah, when I ask her, how did you do that? It's like, I don't know. So just bump, bump, bump. And yeah, we find stuff just like that.
We do.
What other good news have we got? Well, really good news is that one of the corporate clients that we gained in January likes us so much and has given us such fab feedback that they've recommissioned us for even more sessions. So that is really fab news for us because it helps keep bread and milk on the table. And it's really just really nice to have had the feedback from those guys to say how much they've enjoyed it. It's been a really fab session, early morning session.
Yeah, really interesting because they're all over the world, aren't they? They zoom in from all over, and we get to see exotic places, don't we?
We do, everywhere from the Ukraine, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Venice, Vienna, Germany, Spain. It was fab, and they really, really enjoy it. We have well over 30 participants across the globe for that. I know some of you guys might have some connections. So if you think you know anyone in the kind of corporate world who might be looking for a workplace wellness session, do pass our name on, because we do a good job and we work very closely with our corporate clients to really bespoke a set of sessions for them. So if you have any contacts that you think, oh, they might like us, then do pass our name on. That would be really appreciated. So what else are we going to be doing as well?
So just to say, did we say hello to Dorothy when Dorothy arrived?
Oh,
so if we
hello,
haven't,
Dorothy.
If we haven't already said hello to Dorothy, morning, Dorothy. And again, hello to those folks who are watching but can't drop us a note. We're also going to say, so last week we did a session with Blesma. So I think we mentioned we were going to do Blesma. We've done a lovely session, again, with that's our Army connection. It's the British Limbless Ex-Servicemen's and Women's Association. So ex-service personnel, I should call them. So yeah, a really great bunch of guys and ladies. Really interesting questions. We brought in lots of the history about how, this was the Chen style form, which is one of the original styles of Tai Chi, was created by a retired military general. So yeah, we could sort of bring them a bit of history to link them with it. So we had a super session. We really enjoyed that with those folks. So, and we're going to be hopefully doing some more with them soon as well.
They want to commission us as well. So again, that's really great news. It helps us know that we're actually doing a good job when people recommission us or want to commission us. It kind of says that we're on the right tracks in terms of what we do. That's a nice comment from Maggie, who joined that session. It was absolutely fab to have you as well, Maggie, and thank you for your lovely feedback. So what else are we going to be doing?
So this morning we're going to get ready. We're going to do a little bit of a warm up, and then we'll get through some of our 5 animal movements. We've had loads of good feedback about that, so people will sound like they want to carry on. So we're going to get on with that, and then we'll have a little go through of the Bafa Wubu as well, won't we?
Bafa Wubu Part 1, and we've had some email conversations with folks in terms of Bafa Wubu, and for a little while I began to experiment with teaching the steps in our small little space here, and I just don't think it's going to be viable to go any further. I think it's more viable for when we get an opening in our lockdown period that we put on a workshop to do that Part 2 point. A couple of reasons why. A, I can't see you, and as those steps progress, they get increasingly tricky. And as you know, safety and comfort is one of our primary objectives when teaching, and because I can't see you, I'm always a little bit wary of the fact that I just can't see what's going on and whether people are okay in their space. Plus, it just begins to get very unwieldy. We do need to be doing steps backward, forwards, to the sides, with turns, and I just don't think for this particular online space
the 2D doesn't work very well for such a 3D movement often, does it? It's kind of, it's very hard to translate those things onto a 2D screen. So we will get there eventually, but more likely through a workshop where people often we have Phil in the middle in a workshop. People can look from different directions. People can really ask questions. Like I say, when it gets more technical, that's the time to kind of get together and do that. So
so I hope that it helps those folks who have been chomping at the bit, and I know you have, to make progress with Bafa Wubu, but I hope that's a reasonable explanation from our point of view of why we just feel it's not really tenable in this format to continue on. But we will do Part 1, and there's still much that we can bring into Part 1 in terms of the qualities that we're after and the principles. And I also just hope that it's a nice part of your day-to-day practice, which Tai Chi ultimately ought to be about. You have something that you can practice and enjoy. So do let us know if that's okay. I know it might be a bit of a disappointment to some of our viewers, again, who have emailed us, but I hope that is an understandable kind of response from us. So shall we get on? Oh, Look who's just arrived.
So Judy's just arrived. Thanks so much for joining us. And yes, really enjoyed the 5 animals. Yeah, there's so much to go at. We've got loads of other stuff that we can be doing. So we're going to explore more. Again, we're going to be taking variations of the 5 animals that we know are going to be easy to get you moving, not too complicated. So should we do that? Should we hope you've had a chance to have a drink while we've been waffling on? And so we can, So,
Yeah. Thank you very much, Judy. That's a nice comment.
Stuff.
Right.
So,
let's, what?
What are we doing?
You're doing getting people moving, and I'm getting out of the way, aren't I?
Yeah, thank you very much. So this is our bit. You can stay seated if you prefer. You can stand up, and if you are standing up, just make sure your floor space is a little bit clear, that you're not going to trip over anything. Do make sure your arm space is a little bit clear. You don't want to be knocking lamps, cups of tea off the top. And you might want to start moving. Once you've made sure your space is clear around you, just get the feet moving. Taking some nice, even breaths. So this is where we might want to use our nose to inhale. Sometimes mouth breathing becomes a bit of a habit just because we may have had a cold or something, or just becomes one of those habits. So let's just see if we can, if it's comfortable and you want to give it a go, breathe in through the nose. And in Tai Chi, we imagine that we're inhaling a lovely scent. So we may got some scents, favorite scent. It may be coffee, that first morning coffee of the day. It may be a lovely rose smell, but pay attention to the way the breath enters the body through the nose. You can breathe out, relax through the mouth if that helps you. Just let go. So this principle, this idea of song is to let go. So we become aware of tension. Often as we inhale, we can become aware of tension building up, and then we can let go. Just sink a little bit more into the floor. Give the toes a little wiggle. If you're seated, just become more aware of your seat, exactly how you're sitting, how the feet are placed, and how your torso is. So we can also, important to think about our torso, that we can lengthen through the torso. We can get these muscles working just by thinking of nice and lengthen through the torso. So just standing, just breathing is an art in itself. It's our check-in as to where we are this morning. Let's paint circles with the hands. So I'm going to come a little bit forward so you can see that I'm nice, easy circles, getting the wrists moving. You may want to paint circles on a board in front of you. You may want to change directions. You may want to have the circles as if they're paint pots in front of you, so their hands are down, but we're getting the body moving. So have a little shake out if that's comfortable. Sometimes it's a nice way to let go of tension, to, again, song, to let go tension that we hold unnecessarily. I'm going to take a slightly wider stance. If we're seated, again, you can take a slightly wider stance even in the seat, and just think about how we can push weight from one foot to the other. We're going to get the ankles moving like this and the hips moving a little bit. So we're pushing weight from side to side. Always remember that this is different from this sort of motion. So sometimes it gets mistaken for this. Sometimes it gets mistaken for that motion. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to have soft knees, and we're trying to push the weight from side to side. So try those two different movements if you wish. Feel the difference between the two. This should feel like a shift of weight. We call this pouring. And when you're ready, have a little shake out. So these are all key principles to our Tai Chi movement, and we can never practice them enough. There are fundamental movements. Let's get the hands warmed up. Just getting circulation going through the fingers. Again, you can always bring your attention back to the breath. And now we're going to get the neck moving a little bit more by keeping the shoulders and the hips facing forward. We're going to have one hand holding a mirror, one hand facing down, and we're just going to turn gently to the side and coming back. Cross the hands and again, so getting the head and neck moving nice and easy. We're thinking about nice and lengthened through the torso. We're thinking down through the feet, up through the body. So to be down through the feet, to be really grounded, we call that Chen, our principle to feel grounded. We may have the image of a well-rooted tree or even a mountain. So take your time to breathe and feel the movements. Feel the neck. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back to the center. Have a little shake out. Have a little swirl of the wrists. Okay, so we'll get the ankles going a little bit more. So if you know that your balance isn't too good, hang on to something. You may want to move towards a wall or a heavy piece of furniture, a nice sturdy bit of furniture. We're going to do little ankle circles. So we're going to get our balance on one leg. But we're trying not to lock out the knee. And by mean that, I mean pushing the leg right back so it's as straight as it can possibly go. We try not to do that and instead we try and have this little bit of a soft knee, as we call it. We're just going to draw little circles with a big toe. So make sure that you're balanced, make sure that this foot's nice and relaxed. And when you're ready, if you would like to, if you're feeling safe and balanced, draw little circles, get that ankle movement going. And obviously put your foot down as soon as you need to. So in Tai Chi, we're always staying within our safe and comfortable range of motion. So when you're ready, we're just going to swap over. We're going to do the same. We're going to make sure that we're well balanced, that we feel comfortable. And we're drawing little circles, different directions. So hopefully our ankles are warming up. Have a little shake out. Let's do part the sky from the earth. So nice stance of we're seated again. Just make sure that we're nice and lifted through the torso. It's easy to kind of collapse into our posture a little bit. So let's part the sky from the earth, holding a beach ball, nice and comfortable. Elbows are relaxed, shoulders are relaxed, our stance is relaxed. We bring the bottom hand around. We're thinking about that nice, even, steady breath. And we bring the palms together. And we bring the bottom hand up. And we turn the palm out. So just take your time to enjoy the movements. Enjoy the journey. Feel the shoulders relaxing. Feel the breath expanding. And when you're ready, coming back. So have a little shake out. So this next movement is called crane. So we're going to use our balance movement for this. So if you noticed that your balance wasn't so good this morning, I would suggest you sit down for this movement. If you, or you keep both feet on the floor. So it's up to you. So we can do the crane just with arms. So beginning, we're just going to pick the hands up, just to shoulder height. Again, we keep the shoulders relaxed, make sure that the shoulders don't come up towards the ears, and just relax down. If you would like to bring one foot in, you can lift up onto one leg, but it's up to you to make sure that you're nice and balanced. And let that foot down, and then we can go to the other side. So we can shift the weight, lift the heel up, come up onto one toe and down. So the aim is to stay smooth and balanced. Aim is to take your time so you can feel the balance, feel the foot drop, and then shift the weight. It's easy to rush these, and we lose our principles of weight shift or pouring, of smooth, flowing movement. So, taking our time, so important. So when you're ready, have a little shake out. So that's our nice, easy crane movement to get us going. So we're going to look at the deer movement. So we've been doing that standing in place, and we have our hands to start off with just in little loose fists. So some way comfortable, loose fists, like so. So you might want to watch the first time. We're going to take hands to one side, and then they come back to the other, and we look to one side. So we need to go nice and gently, because this can be a big stretch down one side of the body. So go into this movement nice and slowly, and respect how your body feels and how far it wants to go. So here we go again. We can bring the hands up to the side, the elbow stays into the waist, and we just look over and back down. And then we can repeat on the other side, lifting the hands and turning to look. So you'll notice that the hand position changes as I get over there to make our little deer movement. So nice and steady. So I'm just going to come in to show you the deer heads. So it's up to you. You can make deer heads like so, or like so, or like so. So it's up to you how you do those deer movements. That's kind of like antlers, and that's like deer heads. So whichever feels comfortable, but make sure you're not straining the hands or straining the wrists to get into those movements. Again, take your time. So we'll do that one more time. So we're just going to swing the hands up, and then they come around, and then we can have a little look to the side. Swing the hands down, lift up, have a little look to the side. There we go. And have a little shake out. So that's our deer movement. Okay, and finally we're going to have a little look at monkey. So a monkey, I say you might again want to watch the first time. We're going to have one hand on our hip waist and one hand looking forward. It's going to scoop back. It's going to come up to the back cheek, and then we're going to have a little turn and a look upwards. And then we're just going to come back, and we're going to do that on the other side. So one hand on the hip, one hand looking forward. We can always look to the hand. We come down, we look up, and we can repeat that on the other side. So get used to the idea of we're looking away, elbows pointing in a similar direction, and then we're swapping sides, hand lifting, coming down, and we look up. So hopefully that's feeling a bit more familiar now. So just nice, easy breaths as we do that movement. Coming around and in. If you wish to bring the feet in, you can bring the feet slightly together, and we can see they've got a slightly soft knee bend. And we can do the same on the other side. So little soft knee bend. So just nice, easy flowing movement. A little step to go with it. There we go. So I hope you've enjoyed those movements. Have a little shake out. Phil's going to come in and take over. He's going to show you a couple more movements.
Thank you, Hal. So Helen's taking you through 3 of the 5 animals qigong set: monkey, deer, and crane. Now I'm going to do tiger and bear. So let's do our tiger movement. So remember, we're going to make claws. Again, if I come a little bit closer, you can see I'm going to make tiger claws. Rah, just like that. Okay, so that's our hands. I don't need to be too far away, although you do need to see when I lift my hands up. So we're going to look down, press the hands down gently, make the tiger claws, and then turn the hands round into fists. And imagine you've taken hold of the earth, or maybe a big blanket, and now you're going to pull up to the shoulders. So there's a sense of resistance. Turn the palms and then continue to push up towards the sky. You go as far as you like. And then tiger claws, take hold of the sky. I like to think of taking hold of the fabric of the sky, and now we're pulling down. So I have a sense of pulling. And as we get to the shoulders, we open the hands, palms pressed down, and again have a sense of pushing against gentle resistance. And we come back to our start position where we've formed tiger claws, turn into fists, and again, imagine you're pulling up a heavy blanket, or I like to feel as though I'm pulling up the earth, up to shoulder height, then open the hands, turn the palms over, press up. Nice, gentle awareness on the breath as we do. Don't overextend. Tiger claws turning into fists, and again imagine we pull the fabric of the sky down, so pull it down. There should be a sense that you're working through the shoulders and arms. Open the palms at shoulder height, press down, and again gentle resistance all the way down. Lovely. One more tiger claw, turn into fists, pull up, so there's a sense of pulling. Don't just let the hands rise, pull up, and it will get the muscles engaged, and then press. And again, there's a sense of pressing, and you'll feel the difference through the musculature. And then tiger claws, take hold of the sky and pull. And if you get the right intent, you'll have a sense of pulling, and then push down for the last part of the movement. Lovely. And if we wish, we can just then close that movement by just a nice little closing. Lovely. Let me have a little bit of tea. Excuse me. All of that so good so far, I'm hoping. So now we'll do our little bear rolls. First of all, let's just roll both shoulders forward. Let me come a bit closer. That's it. So roll the shoulders, just both. So we're lifting the shoulders, we're lifting the scapula at the back. And now just choose one. So this is my right shoulder, and I'm just rolling it forward. Now do the left shoulder. Right shoulder comes to rest, and now just... So this is really important that I'm getting you used to the idea that the shoulders really are rolling. And now alternate each shoulder. but make sure you really are lifting the shoulder. And then just allow a bit more of a torso. So you're going to have to loosen the legs a little bit and allow the torso, but make sure you don't lose that shoulder roll. And we begin to look like a lumbering bear. Okay, come to a rest for a moment. If we don't have that shoulder roll, like so, what we end up is just this, a sway. It's just tipping the waist from side to side. Whereas what we want is the shoulder to roll. And there's only a little bit of waist. So I'm just being a little bit more specific here for the movement, but it makes all the difference to be correct rather than just going through the motions. Let's add a little step. All we're going to do, if I move back so you can see my feet, is we'll just begin to get the shoulders rolling. And again, make sure that you are lifting your shoulders. And then with whichever side you want to start with, I'm going to start with this left shoulder. As this left shoulder comes up, I just pick up. And I can either just keep the toes in place and then down and then opposite side. So I'm lifting alternate heels with the lifting shoulder. Like that. If you wish, you can lift and step. So you lift the foot completely off, but make sure you maintain your balance and that you are rolling the shoulders. Again, it's a coordination exercise. Just like that. What tends to happen is that we're focusing so much on the step that, again, we lose the shoulder roll and we just end up. Looks like a robotic bear rather than a bear rolling his shoulders through the forest. So practice that movement. Make sure the shoulders are engaged. You should feel it. It should have worked that shoulder girdle quite significantly. That's the focus. There's some more step elements that we can bring in, but if we don't have that focus on the shoulders, it just turns into a step sequence, which is not what we're aiming for. Remembering that these forms go back to well over 2,000 years. They're accredited to a Chinese doctor, Hua Tuo, and they're specific. They're there a bit like a prescription. So if we're thinking of a medicine, it's a bit like having a prescription, and we're not going to mix prescriptions up, are we? We know that's the worst thing we can do. So if we've got a prescription for shoulders, we need to make sure that that's the focus of that particular medicine or that movement and not mix it up with something else. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps you understand why I've been a little bit more detailed about what seems a simple movement. Let me know in the comments if that has made sense and that you, again, get why I've explained it in such detail. So that's bear and tiger. That brings us to the end of our 5 animals. Again, new folks are telling us that you really, really do enjoy this set of movements. If you fancy, we might turn it into a little Zoom class all by itself. So if, again, that's something that sounds attractive to you, again, let us know in the comments. So now we're going to move on to Bafa Wubu, our short little new official Tai Chi form from China. we're just going to focus on part 1. If you've joined us a little later, watch the video again and you'll see an explanation from Helen and myself about why we've come to the decision that it's just going to be too tricky in this 2D space, i.e. online, and our front room to actually get all the steps in safely, i.e. that we can ensure that you're safe at home. So Bafa Wubu, we can do it sat down, and I'm going to do that just to demonstrate. Let's grab a box. And remember, doing it sat down teaches us a lot. Let me see what Maggie's saying. Does the bear ever go backwards? Yes, it does. And again, we'll do that another time. So yes, we've focused on the forward rolls, but then there's a backward roll. But again, I just wanted to give that emphasis and not bring too many competing elements in. So there's a bit of a teaching methodology there. Again, I hope that makes sense and that's a reasonable answer, Maggie. You can always practice it at home by just, again, really emphasizing the reverse motion. Okay? So I'm going to sit down on a box. We want our feet in good contact with the ground. Okay? Let's make sure of that. So you can just see my feet, good contact, and then think of everything growing up from the contact with your feet and from the contact of your seat upon your chair. Okay, so grow up from that base or foundation. Okay. Have that sense in mind. That will begin to get us into the right kind of state of mind and posture to really engage in Tai Chi as a practice. Okay, let's just rest our hands on our knees. Okay, I'm not going to mirror. Okay, but I'll talk from your and my perspectives. Okay, so sat down. What we're going to do is make sure that we push a little bit off each foot for each corresponding movement. So I want you to just try that now. You won't be able to see me. I'll overemphasize it. So if I push on my left foot, my right shoulder turns. And then if I take the pressure off and now push on my right foot, it moves the left shoulder. Again, get used to that idea if you are sat down. If you're stood up, again, just get that notion that you can put more pressure through your feet and it allows you to have a corresponding turn of the torso and the shoulders. Does that make sense as well? Okay. Again, it's these little elements that are missed out in so many classes. And it's really important because suddenly it just reinvigorates your Tai Chi practice, knowing that you actually are working your body. And if we're talking about the benefits of Tai Chi, the benefits come as a consequence of the work that we put in. Okay, so we've got used to this idea of putting pressure through the feet. Let's commence. So we've got our Qi Shi movement to commence. Now, when we lift the hands up, put a little bit of pressure through your feet, okay? So with me, 1, 2, 3. So just a little bit of pressure just to support the weight of the arms as they lift up. And then as they lower, you can just begin to ease off that pressure. And then I'm going to push on my left foot and it takes my hands and arms to the right side to hold the ball. I'm going to push on my right foot and it pushes out the left hand. And my right hand comes down onto a table. Fingers extend and now I'm pushing off my left foot and it brings the hands down to the right. I'm going to bring my hands up into the press position, and I'm going to push off the right foot, and it pushes the hands forward. Get the connection between feet and hands now. Going to part the hands, and again, I'm just settling. There's a little brace in the feet as I settle. And then I'm going to push off both feet, even though I'm sat down, to push forward. We're going to take a grip. Imagine we've taken grip of someone's collar, okay? And we're going to turn our grip to our left. So we've really tightened and put a twist in the grip. And now push down through the left foot, and it'll push you and pull you down to the right hip. Pick up the hands. So we let go and sweep them forward. You'll notice that my right palm is up, my left palm is down, but it can also be turned slightly out. And now push off this right foot. Drive, and it'll drive that elbow forward, my left elbow. There it is. And then we're unrolling the hands, and I'm pushing off the left foot to push down to my right, like so. Then I'm going to pick up the ball, push off the right foot, and it carries the ball to the left. And we repeat everything that we're doing. So I'm going to push off the left foot, and it extends the right hand out. Take the pressure off the feet, fingers extend, and now push off the right foot to draw the hands down to the left side. Pick up the hands into the press position, push off that left foot, and it drives the hands forward. Part the hands. Brace as we push down. And now push forward, brace through the feet and through your seat if you sat down, or through the legs if you stood up. Take a grip, turn it to your right this time. Tighten the grip, push off the right leg, and it gives you the impetus to pull down to the left. Let go, pick up the hands to the left. You've got the left palm up, the right palm is down or slightly turned out, and then sweep the shoulders, but you're going to push off the left leg to sweep. Get the idea? Pushing off the left leg, and then push off the left leg to drive that right elbow, unwind, push off the right leg to drive down to that left side. And then we'll finish by just placing the right wrist on top, and we do our little flourish, turning the hands in and out and separating them, and then coming to rest. So even sat down, we can really turn that into quite a little workout. Let me come up and see what Judy's saying, because I can see she's made a little comment. So that's very nice. Thanks very much for that. So that's a nice comment, Judy, about our bear rolls. Much better for your back. Sways too much strain on the spine. Yes, absolutely. Well, yeah, spot on. Okay, so I've done that sat down. If you're going to still stay sat down, please do. I'm now going to stand up, and I'm going to turn. Let's see if I can get a decent angle. So I'm going to turn so we've got that right shoulder aspect. But we're going to work on this idea of legs driving the movement. So if you have that idea that you can drive off alternate legs, and it pushes and encourages our shoulders to rotate. Get the idea? So that's what we're going to do. If you're going to be sat down, do the same, sat down, using your feet for pressure. So let's start with an open stance, shall we? Just to make life easier. So hopefully you've just got a good angle. You're going to be able to see my hands as we... Okay, let's have a go. So, first of all, good contact with the feet. Feel the soles and the pads of the toes. take a breath. Turn down the mental chatter in your head and breathe easy. And on 3, 1, 2, 3, off we go. So I'm going to push down through the feet just to rise through the hands. And then I ease the pressure off and it allows the hands to settle down. Push off the left foot and it drives the hands across to the right, and then I'm pushing off the right foot to drive that left hand out into a ward off. Take the pressure off and with the hands extend and now drive off the left foot to bring the hands down to the right hip. Hold a football. Pick the hands up into the press position, little finger edge of a right hand there in the crease of the left wrist. Push off the right leg and it pushes and presses the hands forward. Right hand on top, part the hands and brace as we press down. Imagine pushing a balloon under water, okay? And then we're going to allow that balloon to pop up and we push it forward. So we brace as we do so. Take a grip, turn to the left and push off the left leg and it drives the hands down to the right hip. Pick up the hands. This is where I'm going to turn. You stay where you are. It's just so you can see. So the hands sweep forward and then I'm going to turn just a little bit so you can see I'm driving that left elbow and then I'm unwinding and I'm driving the opposite way to the right side. Going to pick up the ball, push off that right side and now push. I'm going to turn now, so you've got my left shoulder. You stay where you are. Let's check the angle. How's that? I'm driving off the left leg to push out the right hand. Extending the fingers, driving off the right leg to bring the hands down to the hip. In the press position, pushing off the left leg. And now part the hands, brace, push forward, grip, turn to the right, and use the right leg to drive the hands down to the left. Get the difference? We can just pull or we can drive it with the legs. So important. Going to pick the hands up there to my left side. Let me turn so you can again see the hands sweep forward. Now face the camera a bit more. And then I'm driving off the left leg to drive the right elbow forward. Unwind. Drive off the right leg to push the shoulder down to the left. And then I'm going to step in. Right wrist on top. Turn the palms over and finish the movement and everything comes to a rest. Okay, so a very strong emphasis on using our legs, and if we do so, we get all those benefits ramped up that are highlighted in the research, because we're really working our body and we've got relaxation to boot in there as well. So we're mindful about what we're doing. We're going slowly. We're very aware of how we're using our musculature to drive the movement, because that's what we need to do, use our muscles. And we're aware of our breathing and our state of mind. That really kind of brings our live stream to a close. So don't forget, you can watch this again. That's the lovely thing of hosting it on YouTube, that you can return to these videos time and again to review some of the details that we've explored today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have liked this live stream, you might fancy buying us a coffee. Shall I bring that up just to show people, there you go, coffee.com, because as you can see, we do put a bit of work into our sessions, and obviously it'd be nice if you fancy buying us a coffee. It just lets us know that we're doing a good job, which is always nice. Let's see, there's a little comment there. Thank you very much, Ronnie. And yes, we'll do the elegant crane next week. Don't forget, Helen did do the crane earlier on. You may have missed it. Maggie, thank you so much. Lovely session. Thank you as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and that way you'll always be up to date when we've got another live stream pending and when we upload more video as well. And apart from that, don't forget, if you're watching again, you can always post comments and questions and we will pick those up. So for those people who do that, thank you. And it's time to have a cup of tea and maybe a bit of lunch and hopefully a nice afternoon. So I hope you have a good day. I'm going to bring this live stream to a close, and we will see you next Tuesday, same time, for more of what you like. Yeah, you want it to be more elegant, says Ronnie. We will do for the crane. So yeah, take care, folks, and we will see you next week. Have a lovely day. Take care, stay safe,